Hello and welcome to Moneylife. This is Sucheta Dalal. This week, we are going to discuss what everyone's talking about, especially if they're taxpayers. Wealthy minister, modest income. In fact, Minister Rajeev Chandrasekhar and his election affidavit. To my mind, it is not about what he has disclosed or what he has hidden, but the larger issue about tax loopholes that still seem to continue favoring billionaires. Doesn't that concern you? Definitely concerns all of us who are paying taxes. Now, a decade ago, the National Democratic Alliance, led by the Bharatiya Janata Party, formed government with a thumping victory and the slogan of creating a Congress Mukt Bharat. Indian politics, they believed, was mired in symbolic hypocrisy. Innumerable Indian movies in the 1980s used to show these wonderfully corrupt characters in white khadi kurta and a Gandhi topi and doing all kinds of mischief while putting on this whiter than anyone sort of character. Can the vanished wealth of Rajeev Chandrasekhar be explained by this kind of hypocrisy? Or is there much more to his election affidavit and what it hides? I believe it's the latter. I mean, let's put this in perspective and look at the background. On one hand, we in India are celebrating headlines about 25 more Indians making it to the Forbes list of world billionaires. 25 more, taking the number from 169 to 200 in 2024. And we're all happy about it. It's media headlines. On the other hand, here's Rajeev Chandrasekhar, well-known industrialist for a long time, turned to politics, now declares social service as his occupation, and he declares very, very modest, relatively modest, assets to go with his new role. Mr. Chandrasekhar has always led a very luxurious, well-publicized life. He owns a fleet of super expensive cars, super bikes, aircraft that he used regularly even as a member of parliament. Strangely enough, his affidavit claims that he owns one bike, a 1942 model Red Indian Scout, which he bought in 2004 for 10,000 rupees. He has no other income, he says. Now let's go back to his wealth. He sold 64% of his holding in BPL Telecom, again as a successful businessman, in 2005. This alone gave him a legitimate windfall income of 4,400 crore. That is now deployed in a diverse spectrum of businesses. He's in media, defense, aerospace, infrastructure, and capital markets. It's all done through multiple holding companies, but led by a company called Jupiter Capital. And yet, Mr. Chandrasekhar declared a taxable income of just 680 rupees in 21-22 and 5,59,200 in 22-23. According to an article in the Mint, income tax returns detailed in election affidavits of 2018 and then 2024 show that Mr. Chandrasekhar's income dipped from 28 crore to 5.5 lakhs in the last 7 years. Now, I sent him a WhatsApp message and asked about this puny declared income and taxes paid, because frankly, someone like me who's had to pay a huge multiple of that wonders what's going on, right? So he actually responded to me and he said, my only income is my minister's salary. So I sent another message and said, what about income from investments, deposits, mutual funds, dividends, maybe rental? His answer was one word, no. Yet, his affidavit has declared a fairly large portfolio of investments and fixed deposits in crores of rupees, which earn a substantial interest. But be that as it may, I want to look at, there are plenty of articles, including in Moneylife, about his affidavit. Everyone is talking about it, so we leave it there. The issue here is the sudden shrinkage of Rajeev Chandrasekhar's already modest income. Remember, I told you windfall gains of 4,400 crores, deployed since 2005 very profitably, but yet his modest net worth is 65 crore in 2018 and with an annual income of 28 crore. This itself is stunning. Now somebody has filed a complaint. Advocate Avni Bansal and Ranjit Thomas have filed a complaint. They filed it earlier, they filed it again with the Election Commission of India. They say that Mr. Chandrasekhar's declared assets now are just 36 crores. This includes total movable assets of 9.25 crore, but omits a hefty 45 crore of investments, and that his declared immovable assets of 14.4 crore do not include a very posh bungalow at Koramangala in Bangalore. And receipt that they have attached along with the complaint to prove the point that the bungalow is in Mr. Chandrasekhar's name. They also allege that he has declared only the book value of his investment in 4 group holding companies. These holding companies control all his wealth. And the book value is a paltry 6.38 crore. While a filing with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs in 22-23 put the same at 1,610 crore. This is a table that they have attached with their complaint, which talks about declared assets over a period of time from 2006, when he first became a minister, to 12, 25 crores, 37 crores, 65 crores, and 36 crore. The big perplexing question here is, why would a successful, legitimate businessman whose estimated net worth by the complainants is 8,000 crore want to hide his wealth? Is he no longer in control of scores of subsidiaries that are layered under Jupiter Capital as a holding company? How is he able to avoid disclosure? And what is the Election Commission doing about it? Remember, over the last 10 years, we've been told that Benami holdings have been literally eliminated. Beneficial ownership has become tough. KYC, as you know, is such a source of harassment for everybody, individuals and businesses. But how can this happen with the minister and in his election affidavit? So what is the Election Commission's response? Remember, go back. This is not today. Today's paper says the Election Commission has responded. No. On 22nd September 2022, the Election Commission wrote to Ranjit Thomas that it is forwarding his complaints of 2018 and 20, along with Mr. Chandrasekhar's election affidavits of that time, to the Central Board of Direct Taxes for verification. There's been no progress on the matter. And yet, when the Congress party filed a complaint again, the ECI has given the same response, that they are sending it to the CBDT to verify. This should interest you, because is the CBDT very busy? Yes. Not with ministers and the affidavits, with people like us. In the very same period, the CBDT and every organization and mechanism that it controls issued demand notices to 10 million ordinary investors. How do I know it's 10 million? Because Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said it. 10 million ordinary investors got tax notices dating back to 2005 and earlier. I was also a victim. And they ruthlessly adjusted taxes against refunds that were due. Just a notice saying you have dues from 2004, 5, whatever. Some were as low as 36 rupees, some were 1,000, some were in lakhs. And while you're not supposed to really expected to keep your tax records for more than 7 years, if you were not able to prove that you had paid the tax, you would have to pay interest. And people have been struggling with it. It's only in February this year that the finance minister finally heard the outraged Indians, middle-class outraged Indians who have already paid their taxes, and announced some concessions saying that small demands up to 1 lakh would be written off along with interest and whatever was being charged on them. So in this context, look at the curious case of the minister's enormous vanishing wealth. It raises a serious question also. Why would you want to hide legitimate wealth? That is a $1 million question here. After all, Indian voters are no longer so naive. They don't expect, we have moved long way from the 80s. We don't expect our public representatives to be selfless social workers dressed in white with minimal physical possessions. Simplicity is still admired, but being a crorepati is not a negative. So even though the Association of Democratic Rights, ADR, which has done exemplary work, diligently tracks crorepati data of politicians, it's no big deal. Again, let's put it in perspective. Being a crorepati, that's earning 10 million or 1 crore rupees, you have it, put it in a bank fixed deposit. What is the interest that you get? About 7% or 7.4%. This will fetch you a modest monthly income of about 58 to 60,000 rupees, which is lower than the salary of a section officer in government. We don't grudge that to anybody who wants to be in public life. Now, according to ADR, ministers, politicians are much more wealthy and have been declaring it without embarrassment. So, ADR says the average assets declared by Lok Sabha candidates are 4.5 crore and 53 MPs are declared billionaires. It also says the total assets of 763 sitting MPs are 29,251 crore. Yeah, huge. You expect that when they are public representatives, they will no longer want to make money on the side. Hopefully that is how it works. Now, in March 2024, ADR did another scrutiny of affidavits, and it revealed 25 MPs had declared assets of over 100 crores in their affidavits. Just a list of a few names. Bandi Partha Sarthi of the BRS party, richest MP with declared family assets of 5,300 crores. He is the chairman of the Hetero Pharmaceutical Group. No problem. Ala Ayodhya Rami Reddy, net worth 2,577 crore. Actress Jaya Bachchan, Samajwadi Party, 1,001 crore. Congress MP Nakul Nath, son of Kamal Nath, also has declared assets of 660 crore. Top lawyers who are also politicians, Kapil Sibal and Abhishek Manu Singhvi, 608 crore and 649 crore respectively. Now, even the Aam Aadmi Party doesn't have Aam Aadmi MPs. It has two MPs, one Sanjeev Arora, whose net worth is 460 crores, and Vikramjit Singh Shani, whose net worth is 498 crore. Controversial politician Praful Patel has declared assets of 416 crore, Parimal Nathwani 396 crore, Karthik Sharma 390 crore, DK Suresh 338 crore, Raghu Ramakrishna Raju 325 crore. I am not going to come down to the 100 crore, but you get the picture. People have money, hundreds of crores. They are in public life. They are politicians. They are not embarrassed about declaring their assets. What makes Rajeev Chandrasekhar different? He ought to have topped this list, more than 5,000 crore. But he claims that his only income is as his salary as a minister of the government of India. He has, other than these two messages to me and what I have read on social media and other articles, Mr. Chandrasekhar has not responded. I asked a few questions. He hasn't responded to those either. So silence is perplexing and we have no explanation. So we are concerned and have to draw our own conclusions. Now, what would that conclusion be? One, as a minister and MP, he's in a position to influence policy decisions affecting the commercial interest of his businesses. Don't declare them at all. For instance, The Wire has already reported this. They said that he was a member of the Standing Committee on Defense when he had significant business interests in defense. In another article, it had questions in his media investments. What did he do? He obtained an ex parte injunction against The Wire. They had to take those articles down for a short while, but the order was subsequently vacated. The issue that concerns taxpayers is the CBDT silence on the sudden shrinkage of Mr. Chandrasekhar's assets for 2 whole years, from 22 to 24, it's silent. As far as we know, the minister has not renounced, gifted, transferred, or ceded control over his assets. It seems that he has merely organized his assets in a manner that he avoids full disclosure in his affidavit. Maybe there are loopholes that allow it, but that is not what the government has been telling you. They're talking about transparency. And significantly, despite being a billionaire, he is able to state that his vast assets contribute so little to his annual taxable income. I don't think this is a man that's just avoiding taxes. It is hiding his net worth. God alone knows for what. What does this reveal about the Indian tax system's loopholes for the ultra wealthy? While, remember, over the years, the government has been steadily eroding benefits and exemptions available to ordinary taxpayers and especially to salaried individuals. Shouldn't this concern all of us? How is it that India's stringent, well-defined beneficial ownership regulations also don't seem to apply in this instance, while we are harassed every day on ownership, notices, KYC, refunds? If this doesn't agitate you, I don't know what will. But as a citizen, I hope you will wake up and ask questions because it's about all of us. Thank you.